Fam. Welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and the Flea. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back.
It's almost the weekend, baby.
And what better way to start this week and this episode with the wonderful
Justin Joseph.
Mr. Justin Joseph is back. I know. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for starting your own applause.
The people are ready for you.
I know. Gosh.
Thank you, ladies, for having me again. Looking forward to it. It's so much fun, and looking forward to it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, today's episode, we're talking about emerging trends, and what better person to bring in to help us chat about this than you? You know? So thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
My
and Rachel,
pleasure.
You as well. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
All right. And thank me. No, I'm just kidding.
Christina, thanks for bringing us all together.
Totally. All right, guys. So as I mentioned, we're going to, there's a bunch of trends going on in regards to shopping, you know, retail altogether, and especially vending, right? And so wanted to kind of talk about the top 10 right now that we're seeing most of. And maybe we are seeing a lot of them at SwapORama, maybe we aren't, but in general, I think we're seeing a lot of these things. So wanted to, dive right in.
Shed some light.
Okay, so the first one, sustainability and eco-friendly shopping. I mean, I feel like it goes without saying that everyone wants to be a little bit more eco-friendly, whether it's like packaging, like
I was just going to say,
seeing,
you see more package right now that has like recycled, it's made out of recycled bags, or like
they're just
like,
brown bags in general.
Exactly.
Like, we're not really seeing plastic bags anymore.
Well, plus like that, I mean, in Chicago at least, you know, we have to pay like 7 cents for a bag at the store, whether you're like at Nordstrom or, I don't know, Mariano's grocery shopping. So definitely in the city, I think we do a good job of kind of that like secondhand lifestyle, because everyone just like goes grocery shopping and they bring their tote, and it's like you already have those bags. So I think, you know, as someone who lives in a big city, we for sure see this. But I know that it's like becoming more and more popular in other areas.
That's actually a really funny point, because I feel like when I go home to the suburbs, you know how they have like the wheel of like the plastic bags?
Yeah.
I will literally go to Walmart or like CVS sometimes, and they will put like 2 things in a bag and then like go to the next bag. And I'm like, wait, we're just so used to paying for the bags. And I'm like, wait, you could put some more stuff in there. Like,
pack it up.
You know what I
25
mean?
bags later.
Yeah. I'm like, this is why I have an armful of bags. Like, no thanks.
And what's interesting, at the market now, a lot of the vendors are asking, do you want a bag?
Yeah.
So they don't just put the goods that you buy in a bag. They ask you. A lot of folks now are just taking it without the bag, which is really nice.
Right.
So
it's true.
They're being conscious about that.
Yeah, bringing kind of like the, you know, reusable shopping bags or backpacks or whatever. Like you said, I think in the city we're kind of really good about this stuff.
Yeah, I do.
And obviously,
it's also so weird, okay, because like me and you are from different states. When I do go back to Michigan and go like grocery shopping, it like I feel like such an idiot, because I'm like, oh, like you don't have to add like how many bags you're buying.
Right.
My brother's like, we're not in Chicago. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, that's true, because you have to put how many you used or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's really not even enforced anyway. Nobody's watching.
I know.
So
I'm like, all right, I'm taking home 4, I put 3.
I have before lied about how many bags I
Dude,
took, and like I felt like such a bad person. And Tom was like, it's fine. I'm like,
it is what it is. I'm like, anyways, moving on. But no, I think too, just we're seeing more people repurpose like furniture and like upcycling things, or buying shirts and like, I don't know, making quilts out of them. Like, definitely a lot of that. Are you guys seeing kind of upcycling like that too, and reusing, whether you're at a store? And I mean, we've seen it at the Flea, where they'll take like an old Tito's bottle and put like
make it
wax
a candle
in it and make it a candle.
I think
like,
that
really
stuff
cool
is so cool. Like the way that people are actually like reusing things right now, I think is like, I love.
It's fun, yeah.
Do you guys know, obviously you know, the football team, the 49ers?
Never heard of them.
Okay, so one of the players on the team his wife actually makes clothing and like does custom stuff, and she buys a lot of her stuff that
that's
is
right. That's
thrifted.
The fullback.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Juice,
fullback.
Jute Check or whatever.
Yeah.
She buys like secondhand like shirts and t-shirts and jackets, and then cuts them up and like makes them into like amazing pieces. So you know, people are using them for fashion and for like handbags, but some people are using it for like furniture, like you said. And I think we've all seen like the t-shirts that are made into like a blanket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I definitely think it's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, it's something I love to see for sure.
Very creative.
Are you doing anything like that, Justin?
Not yet. Not yet. My artistic side, I'm still working on that, but I do.
Well, you always point things out too when we're kind of like window shopping. Like he has appreciation when people. Oh no, like that one vendor in our pop up at Peotone that like reuses like the saw. Remember, and he would make like funky
that
stuff.
stuff was so cool.
It was really cool.
Engines from
Yes.
motorcycles and really cool metal art.
Yes, very
cool.
interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second one is curated booths and themed stalls.
Okay.
So seeing vendors kind of moving towards maybe not necessarily having like everything, and they're kind of like, hey, we're selling more speakers, like let's just be a speaker vendor, right? Like kind of honing in on one specific item,
like a store. It's like their mini store.
Exactly. I feel like at Swap there's still obviously a ton of people that have like hodgepodgey stuff or like a lot of, you know, variety. But I will say, from my personal opinion, I flock to the ones that are like organized so nice, that have like good lighting, that are like, you know, that looks like you said a mini storefront. Like those are typically my favorite.
Me too. I mean, just think about when we were at the market recently.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I saw that like makeup booth and I was like, gotta go. That's where I'm going. Like the lights, the organization. I'm like, I will spend a lot of money here.
Yeah, they have like a nice sign. They take the time to like, you know, actually maybe like put like a color and theme or something like that. Like the booth that you're talking about, it was just like, you know, they sold like makeup and things, but it reminded me of like an Ulta.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
It had like kind of that
like an Ulta pop-up
aesthetic.
shop.
Yeah, definitely. Justin, what do you think about those?
You know, just a couple that really caught my eye recently. One of them was a Nintendo type place. They had game consoles and stuff.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
It was right outside the office. Such a fantastic booth. They had a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong, but they also, the way that they had the controllers hanging from the top of their booth, just so you know, you had a good space to communicate with the owner of the space. Yeah. But it was just so well done and so fun, and it just brought me in. And then as you mentioned, lighting. A couple of these jewelry vendors have such amazing LED lighting. Probably stuff that I don't even know if it's even at Home Depot yet. Yeah. Just like it's so high end and so beautiful, and you just see the jewels sparkle, and it's just really brings you in and want to engage and buy something from
100%.
I agree.
Fantastic setups.
Yeah. I mean, even at like Target, Walmart, I feel like so many people so many big box retailers lately have also taken the time to like remodel and kind of reorganize, and it just makes it so much easier to shop. You know what I mean?
You know
like,
where everything is. You know exactly where to go.
Like, I mean, for Target, for example, I remember kind of being annoyed, being like, why are purses in the middle of like clothes now and stuff? But it makes sense, because if I want something by that brand,
it's an outfit.
Exactly. It's like, I don't want to walk all the way to the other side to like get it. I'm like, oh wait, this will complete the outfit or whatever it is. If it's a bracelet or something like that.
Plus, you can just style things better when it's like all right there.
Yeah, definitely. And so, although like not only aesthetically is it eye-catching, like, whoa, I want to go in that direction or that section, but also it's just, I mean, you buy more as a shopper. It's just like, as a marketer, I'm like, well done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like there's going to be less questions too from the consumer to the operator when you're showcasing your goods like that. you won't have to interact as much, other than how much is it, and we want that. You know,
exactly.
I think it sells itself.
Agreed.
Exactly.
So
even like I'm thinking about specifically like at some of the vendors at Swap when they have like a ton of baskets or boxes, but it's like a lot of them, and it might not, you don't even know what's in the boxes, but like aesthetically your eye just goes to that, like what's in those boxes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things where they keep it so like just well done in terms of, man, just I need to go see what's in there, you know?
I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, those are the ones where you're like, wow, I just found a hidden gem.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Or like the best is the produce ones too, when they really make it look like an inside of a jewel or like a grocery store. I'm like, I know that took time, you know?
Yeah.
I love browsing those boots.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
They're so stacked.
They're just so well done.
Yeah, no. Organization goes a long way. Like, don't get me wrong, too. There's also a thrill in a hunt, too, when there's like a pile of stuff. But I feel like that's even a vibe. You know what I mean?
You're like
when
just looking, digging, waiting to find something great. And
for sure.
I've also done that.
That's on theme. If you're a thrifter and you see a pile,
you're in it.
You're going to the piles, baby.
It's like Double Dare back in the day. You're diving in for that flag.
Totally. Okay, the third trend we're seeing right now is a lot of digital payment options. So things like Square, Zelle, Apple Pay, Venmo, obviously.
Cash App.
How many years ago? Even 5 years ago? When I first moved to the city is when somebody was like, oh, just quick pay me. Yeah. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Yeah. Like, I always had cash for those reasons. So, like, oh, if you're going to put something on your card, like, here's, my portion of it.
Sure. That's like a thing of the past.
Like, now it's like, somebody will pay for something and you're like, okay, do you want Venmo? Do you want me to quick pay you? Do you want me to cash app you? Do you want me to...
No, that's literally... I actually have a client and they don't pay me check.
Oh, okay.
They only pay me Zelle.
Wow.
So it was so weird though when I had never had a client who was like, hey, can I Zelle you? And I'm like, yeah, you can Zelle my business account. So like I had linked it to like my business email, but I'm like, dude, life is just crazy now that I could be like, yeah, Zelle me, quick pay me, Apple pay me, Cash App me, Venmo me, PayPal, like
seriously.
You can send me money anyway.
I know it's off topic a little, but it's created so many more opportunities too to do other things you normally been like, wait, I have to send a check. Do I really want to waste my time? Do I want to go to the bank and get ATM? But now it's just like you're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's shopping or an event or whatever that looks like, it's just created so many more opportunities, I think, for the world.
Totally. And for me, I will say, living in a city, like I just got a car, right? But I was walking a lot. And for someone who's like walking a lot, like I didn't love carrying my phone and my cards and all that on me. The fact that I can literally just carry my cell phone and Apple Pay so much stuff.
Wow. Like
it's connected to my, business debit card and all that, but it's so convenient for like someone if they just literally don't want to bring a wallet or like, if they don't want to bring like a bunch of cards, like they can just have it on their phone. Yeah. And like everywhere takes it now. Yeah. Like, you can't be like, oh, I forgot my card. Like, we got Apple Pay. I'm like, shoot.
You're not getting out of this one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was going to say, like, it's just weird, like, even just the progression of, like, I remember, a year or two ago when, like, tapping your card, I was like, oh, no, I'm not tapping it. I need to swipe it. Like,
but now that's, like, the more secure way.
Exactly. If I tap it, like, does everyone have my info now? And it's like, whoa. So I'm just all of these shifts are like such a big deal always, but really they are so beneficial.
Another thing I will say too about this topic, which kind of goes back to like being from Michigan, when I go home, like people pay cash with everything. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
I never have cash on me. Like I don't get paid and like go to the bank and like take out cash. Like I can't tell you the last time I like took out cash for like to pay. I'm like, you can't even pay for stuff like with cash here.
No.
It's like it's not that common.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's definitely places in the city before where I'm like, oh, can I pay you in cash? And they're like, no.
Yeah, we don't take cash anymore after COVID. I'm like.
Especially if they have like the square screen, like the white, you know what I mean? Like the iPads.
No cash.
Yeah, they're like.
They don't even have like.
It's no cash
it's because
app.
they don't want. So I actually asked this to somebody at like the coffee shop by our house. It's because they don't want even to have like a register pop out with like bills in it because of like how
safety
much
and stuff.
Just an extra step for the process or stealing or whatever.
Yeah. So when it comes to like a flea, I mean, that's part of the fun, right? Like, you know, you want to have the cash to like be able to haggle a little bit. Like if
that's the only time I have cash.
Yeah. Like if someone's like, oh, it's $20 and you're like, man, I only got 18.
Yeah.
But we'll take the 18, you know?
Yep.
They're not going to be like, Venmo me the 2.
No.
They might. I don't know. Somebody might be a hustler, but for the most part, you know, I think that's part of the thrill. So it's like you want to have the cash, and obviously Swap has ATMs and things like that to help folks, you know, pay for their stuff. But I will say, like, a lot of, even from this past weekend, I would say the people mostly inside, wouldn't you say, have like a sign that'll say like Zelle and then a phone number or Venmo, whatever. I mean, it's definitely not like 50-50. I would say it's, I don't know, maybe
25%.
20%.
I would say 20% between all of like, you know,
all the locations. It's not a ton,
but it's more common than people think. Like I have paid at the Flea in the last 2 years a few times on like with a Zelle payment or whatever. But I personally do like taking the cash to the Flea just because of like exactly what you said. I got $5. I want these shoes, please.
I'll bet you within 5 years, 7 years, it'll be half.
Yeah, I think so too.
My guess, somewhere, you know, every year 5-10% more. I mean, it's just, that's where this world is going. And if they want to get a customer's business, probably the younger folks that are coming in, that's just, they're
what's
not
convenient.
They're probably not going to go to the ATM and risk getting a $2 or $3 fee. They're like, no way, take my money.
Exactly, it's a good point.
You know, they're more conscious of probably getting hit with fees. I agree. Like that.
I used to be a server, in my younger years, and it was just so funny because I would make like, let's say $80 or something during my like breakfast shift, and I would be like, okay, this is all I have to spend tonight when I go out. You know what I mean? Like, isn't it funny? Like, there was no tapping into your like Venmo or paying with my debit card. It was like, nope, $80 is all I have. That's all I have.
But you made it work. I would.
Well, yeah, but that was also when they had dollar you call it and stuff. So it would stretch pretty far.
You're going to the wrong places.
I would do the same thing with like
my
nannying and baby money because they would pay me cash. It would be like the same thing. I'm like, okay, I have X amount. I got to make it work for how many nights out I go.
Yep.
You start dividing, it's like $35 a day.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, can't get a new outfit tonight. Just Venmo me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, sorry. No, I really can't. I don't. It's not in there either, honey. All right. Anyways, number 4 in popularity right now is pop-up markets and more specialty flea markets. So things like, you know, more vintage swaps or comic swaps or
antique, I would say like antique furniture.
God, say pop-ups. It's like there's been a Friends pop-up, a Michael Jackson pop-up,
Barbie
breakfast club,
literally
pop-up, you know.
Oh my gosh, Louis Vuitton pop-up in West Loop or whatever. Like there's every brand has, I think, like expanded in a pop-up way if they can.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Wouldn't you say?
Totally.
Like, yeah, so I don't know. It's fun though. Like, it's kind of nice sometimes to see what these brands come up with so that you can kind of like immerse yourself in what they're doing. You know, I think it's pretty cool. And obviously Swap did one, so that was it's just like, here's a small taste of what it is, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like a pop-up. I'm all about it. I think, one, it gives you like exclusivity.
Yeah.
Exclusive. You know
Yeah.
that. Okay.
No. You're right.
Because it's like limited supplies, so it just makes it like more of like, I feel like a fun experience in a way.
Yeah.
I also think like some of the pop-ups we just named aesthetically have been so pretty and like put together. But I think even if it's not like one of those big brands that we've named, like anyone can do a pop-up. Like it's it's not as like hard as people think. You know, a lot of stores do them, a lot of small businesses do them at markets. Do you guys have any like favorites?
I mean, one off the top of my head is Frosty's, the like pop-up Christmas bar.
Yep.
I feel like that one's always fun.
Or like Jack's with the Halloween.
Yeah, Wrigleyville has several of them.
Oh, yeah.
They have some really good ones.
Like the Christmas market, Kris Kringle market,
But any of those are like, you know, some of our colleagues have had like sneaker events or, you know, again, like Comic Cons. Like those are always so fun. I mean, if you're interested in those things, dude, it's like
a no-brainer.
kid in a candy store, you know, a condensed candy store. But no, even we did an episode while back now, but remember like during the Boston Marathon how they would have like certain brands like Lululemon or something would have like a pop-up like at the end of the
like
marathon.
The race.
Yeah, to like get you in to get like, you know, new leggings and sporting gear and stuff, and I'm just like, that's so smart. It's like
you're targeting the right people at the right time.
That's what it is. It's just like targeting
the right audience
in the right place, right time, you know. All the like art fests that happen now, like in the city, and
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And a lot of the municipalities and villages are doing their own thing, whether it's garage day or garage like sale day, or you know, a farmer's market,
or like a block like garage sale I've seen where it's like the whole street is like
2 days it's done. I mean, it's everywhere. Everywhere is doing it to bring people for publicity, for, you know, just a lot of various reasons.
Brand awareness.
Brand
it's
awareness.
Just cool.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's something to do for us, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, next one is social media integration. So obviously we have a lot to talk about here. No, but I mean, I think this is like crucial. I think if you're, you know, we have a lot of vendors at Swap, for example, that maybe have a big brick and mortar store somewhere, right? So they're already advertising there, and then they say, you know, come to Swap, we're here too, right? So they're already kind of doing that when you're a big box store. Organically, you're advertising yourself. But I think if you're even just a guy selling your junk, or you've inherited your mom's estate's stuff, right? Furniture and stuff. Even if you're there for like 2 days, why wouldn't you go on, you know, and this is an example, but come on the SwapORama website. We have a great following. Just say you're coming. Hey, I'm selling my stuff this weekend, guys. Like, come on out. I think that is just a no-brainer. You know, obviously I'm a marketer. So it's like, hey, any way that I can get my word out there to sell my stuff, I'm doing it.
100%. Also, like Swap, if you are selling there, you guys don't take a lot like of the portion to sell that day. Right. For me, as a small business owner, I sell a service, right?
Right.
I'm helping people, my clients, fix a problem. I'm not selling a product. If I sold a product, that is the first place I would be.
Right.
You can literally make it your own store. You can pick whether you want to be inside, outside, and you can literally, there's no rules. Like if you want to have hot pink everywhere, you can do it literally the way you want. I just think it's such a good opportunity to get your name out there, get your product out there, and make it something, you know, that's yours.
Yeah. Justin?
Definitely. No, I agree. Everything you just said. I mean, it gives a platform for the entrepreneur to do whatever they want with their space. And there's a lot of folks in there that are professionals who can, you know, give some information of what they did to how to be successful.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, we know a lot of folks that have brick and mortar who do this on the side, but they also they love it. They love coming. They've been there 30-40 years, and and they just will not.
It's a lifestyle now.
Yeah, so they have a serious following. And
I think too, like, it's so interesting with social media. I mean, I know all three of us browse, and so it's just so funny the things that take off. So if you're like, again, even a guy just selling tools or selling used clothes, it's like you never know what could go viral or or what could put you on the map. I know.
You share with me every week what's hot, and I'm just like, that's stuff. Amazing. That is.
Well, even when I get like the report you got from you guys, like the email, you know, like not the report, like the NFA. Yeah. Why do I every time?
I
it's
love
like
that
I'm
for
dyslexic with just that. Okay, but I will see like the emails come in, and it'll be like, you know, someone like found this at the flea market and it's like worth 50 grand. I'm like,
I know.
What?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that if you have that little ick in you, that little itch, I'm telling you,
share your knowledge on social media,
seriously,
please.
Go to the flea market, especially ours here. They are loaded.
It's fun.
Loaded with treasures.
To touch on the treasure, it was 30 years ago.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 30 years ago, someone bought a ring, and I think it's worth $3.5 million.
Jeez,
somewhere around there. It's like the largest diamond I think ever found at a flea market or something like that. It was just fascinating. Just these stories are amazing. If you have the eye and you're focused on why you're there, and then you execute, you're making money.
Oh,
for sure.
You're going to buy something and resell it or repurpose it. You're 100% making money.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's the whole point of social media, right? Is just to, like, connect us in this way, even if it is just these articles that are going out or, you know, just people sharing kind of what they found or, like, you know, all these, like, what's in your bag or, like, come with me. And it just really does put you in the experience and shows you what people are selling, how fun it is, like all that stuff. So
I love when some of the vendors share what they're doing.
Oh, 100%. It's so fun.
And I know you two have gone around to promote everything and get them more engaged in what you're doing. And it goes a long way. And I think every market should do that and engage with their vendors more.
Yeah, of course.
I think for me, one of my like proudest moments of Kristina and I in our social media experience with Swap in the last 2 years has just been like, now we actually like have people who like come up to us at the market and like who know who we are and who want us to take videos and post on social media of their stuff. You know, in the beginning, it was kind of like, who the hell are these two? A lot of the vendors have seen, like, with us posting on social media, just how much more, like, traction that they've had. Or, you know, one vendor was saying, like, someone came and showed a video of me and Kristina. And then, like, showed it to the vendor. And they're like, oh, you know, we want this. Like, that's in this video. So I definitely think if you are in the flea market space or any market and you're not using social media, you're honestly doing yourself a disservice, because for me, as a 32-year-old millennial, the first place I'm going to is social media to buy a house, look at a car, literally anything.
I literally looked at TikTok yesterday on how to change my Bosch water filter, and there was videos.
There you go.
Just saying. Anyways, we'll move on.
So it's super important.
It is fun. And it's fun, and it just brings people together. So,
and I would just lastly, I only knew a little bit before I learned from you two, and it's fascinating for someone who, an old dog can be taught new tricks.
We love that, Justin.
We do love that.
So people really need to be open and just listen and see what is happening out there, because it's amazing. But
love that. Okay, next one, obviously vintage and retro revival. This is insane, guys. So things from the 80s and 90s now are vintage. I don't know if you knew that, Justin.
I've been told.
Very scary.
How about, have you ever been called vintage?
Oh, God.
No.
I have, recently.
No.
By a family member.
Oh, God.
We can already assume.
Okay.
I might take that as a compliment.
Honestly, I was. I'm like, you are calling me vintage, but all you want me to do is find you these old T-shirts. So,
it's like, God, really, like a few years ago, I did this like mass clean out of like all my stuff. And
dude, I know.
I'm so mad at myself.
I had some good cash.
Yeah, I had like Power Ranger shirts from when I was a kid, like Barney.
Justin, from like somebody who's just a couple years older than Kristina and I, like, is there any
just
like
a couple?
So much. Thank you for prefacing it that way. That was really nice.
Do you have any
Just a couple.
like memorabilia that like or old things that like you could never get rid of, or like a box of stuff that you still have right now that's like vintage?
Yeah,
It's a
do
great
you,
question.
Justin?
I would be
Let's ask your
interested.
wife.
You know, my wife. It would all be gone if it were up to her.
I know, dude.
You know, I have a baseball collect, like
Yep.
sports cards.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff like that I collected when I was younger, it was gone. My mom cleared it out when we
Yep.
left that home.
Yep.
When I was probably 18.
Yeah.
Kept some of the stuff, but anything probably that's today worth a bunch of money, it's probably gone.
Yep.
Except my collection, I didn't have her. I hid that. So hoping one day that it will help pay for my kids' college. And,
Yeah.
But in 2004, I started doing a little more buying of cards,
Yeah.
hoping that one day it'll be worth something.
Yep.
So that's about all I have, really.
That's what my dad has, the same
you know,
thing,
it's
a card collection, but
Yeah.
it's huge.
It's hu-
And like when I go back to my parents sometimes and like in the basement in my head, I'm like, what the hell are we doing with all this? Like it takes up so much room.
Don't get
but,
rid
like,
of it,
I'm not
please.
touching it. But I do feel like there is some type of value here. Like
Yeah.
people collect, I feel like cards is like a big thing amongst men.
It's super popular right
Or
now.
like-
The trend shifted a few
Yes.
years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time now.
Like my dad will send these cards in
Yeah.
to us to a
Oh, he
company.
goes that
or,
far?
Oh
I wanna
yeah,
do that, but
and
I-
has them like
yeah.
evaluated,
Yeah.
and then they will say like, oh, this Michael Jordan is worth whatever $250, and this one is worth this. But if you sell them to us right now, like this price might go up. So he'll like hold them, and then he'll send them to companies and get like laminated. Oh yeah, it's a
Oh,
thing.
wow.
It's a whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
See, I just feel like I know like the Gen Zers that I know, they're all hunting for like old school Converse or like
Dunks.
beat up Jordans. Yeah. Or like, you know, again, Power Ranger shirts, kind of Ninja Turtle stuff, like
our
stuff with
childhood
holes
stuff,
and bleach, like whatever, like
The
straight up.
worn look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like hot now.
Yes.
I know.
That no, I mean, I
Yeah, yeah.
it
you
is.
inform me. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
say you
Like,
found a
I don't buy a lot
Chicago
of those
Bulls
things.
shirt that was black and then like there was a like a bleach splatter on it, they're gonna pay $60 for it because it's like
Girl, they're
worn,
paying, like,
it's
$120
authentic,
for that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No, like seriously, like those old school Reeboks. Remember those?
Oh, the pumps.
Yes. Well, no, wait, those, but like even the ones that were like
I know what you're
white
talking about,
and
yeah.
they kind of have like that foam in the bottom. I feel and like rigid. God, I know. I have a picture in my head, and I feel like every '80s movie, the lead people would wear those. But anyways. I just like everybody that knows I work at the Flea, like they're like, have you seen those? I'm like, no.
Is that
they
like the
gone.
Michael J. Fox shoe? From, like,
Yes,
Back
kind
to
of
the
like that.
Future?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Where it's like, you know, like again, these like old school Reeboks, and they want them beat up, like because they want them from like the 80s, 90s.
Worn.
Don't even get me started on like 90s cars. I feel like everyone is obsessed with right now and wants those, and I'm like, you couldn't pay me to hold on to it a few years ago, you know?
It's so expensive to redo all that stuff too.
I know, but
It's a market.
hey, we're coming back. The retro.
It's all about
I'm
those
also, like,
90s
sad.
babies, okay? Oh,
I know, but like,
You're in the 80s, sorry.
excuse me. Moving on. I'm just kidding. Listen, okay, I don't remember much of the 80s because I was the late 80s, like literally the last month of 88. But anyways, I love the 90s, like, but I'm like waiting for like the NSYNC revival,
Yeah.
which I feel like,
Give it a year or
That's
two
coming
more.
too,
It's
yeah.
coming. It's all
Okay.
coming.
anyways. All right, number 7 in trending, guys, experiential shopping. So like making it more of an experience and not just an in and out type of thing.
The Flea.
100%.
I can't even think of a better example.
I know. It's like, because malls were getting kind of stale for a while.
Malls are like closing left
it's
and
really
right.
sad.
You remember like JJ, did you ever like go to the mall and like walk around with your friends?
Only 7 days a week.
That's what I mean.
I mean, what you,
Yeah,
go, to, you
where
go
else
to
was-
the Taco Bell in there,
Or like get a
or some more
freaking
pizza.
pretzel at Annie's.
Annie Ann's, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, you
Annie Ann's,
just,
man.
Just
It's at
chill.
Annie
and-
Annie's.
Where are they going to go?
to the flea.
Yep. Seriously.
I mean,
thrifting.
It's I think there's a few malls still around, and I think you're seeing some of the malls that have survived. I think they're putting some funds into them, is what I'm reading, to try to enhance that and the customer's experience. But I don't think there's a ton of them left, but I think they're trying to save them. And get some new stores in there that probably will bring it back to life. And whether they're working out a deal to get them in, I don't know what the leases look like, but they're trying.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this goes back to kind of what we were talking about with pop-ups, where people want like food trucks and like live music and
entertainment.
Yeah, and to walk around with like their dog or their neighbor or whatever, and for it to be more of an interactive experience than to like go to a strip mall. Like, that's boring, you know?
I agree.
It's like we might as well like, you know, even if it's just like walking down the street together or something, or down the block or at your local park, it's like that's a way more fun experience than traditional shopping. So, well, if you haven't been to SwapORama, that's all of that in one.
Well, I also think with the pop-ups and the flea market, it's also, I feel like being a parent, I feel like it's so much more fun doing that.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a family outing versus just walk the mall or, you know, again, I did that. I don't mind malls if my children want to go there, but when we take them to the festivals and to street fests and the farmers markets, they just can't wait to get out and
walk around.
My daughter bought a watermelon that was yellow. I didn't even know there were yellow watermelons, so she brought it home the other day.
I love that.
I'm not going to tell you how much it was, but it was, I'm like, yellow watermelon.
Was it good?
I didn't try it. They're eating it.
We need a review, okay?
It's supposed to be good, the yellow watermelon.
So my point is, it's just family, the family outing, I think the experience, especially with parents these days, or even just a couple or whatever that looks like, just going out and being outside versus tucked in, you know.
Cooped in.
Well, I mean, like, don't you remember as a kid when you would go to the mall or even Walmart or whatever, and it's like your parent, let's say, had to like, I don't know, like my mom would like polish her jewelry or something stupid, like had so many errands to do, and we would always be strangled along with it. And it's like, it's so boring just to sit in like a department store while your mom's doing
running
something,
errands.
you know? Or at least like you could like, if you're in an environment where you can listen to music or like be distracted with something else, you're not like wanting to like strangle yourself while you're in there.
Here's like a $3 trinket. It'll keep
something
your kid busy, like something to let them enjoy,
or just people watch, like at the Flea or something, you know. Well, it's like, okay, cool, like, and that's the thing too at the Flea, like, even if you're getting a key made, like it's very in and out, like everyone's very like fast paced and like wanting to help so quickly, so like you're not really lingering at booths for a long time.
It can be transactional, or it could be longer if you want to chat. You can determine where this goes.
Right,
you know?
so that's my point. So if you were like talking baseball cards with someone, you know, your kid could be at the booth next to you, like you said, kind of like looking at like a huge box of trinkets, and at least it's like more enjoyable. So anyways,
I agree.
Please take them. All right, next up is local handmade goods. I feel like this is very important too, where people just want something that someone made, quite like straight up. You know,
think it's
you appreciate
just special.
it more.
Yeah, you appreciate it more. It's a great gift to give someone. It's more, I feel like it's a little bit more valuable, a little bit more of like an experience. You're supporting someone's small business, and there's so many cool vendors and booths at Swap that are people who literally, like Kristina said earlier, like will take old champagne bottles and make candles out of them, or whatever the case may be. I love like talking to those people and interacting with them, and I'm really bad for like, if there's a woman-owned business, I am finding something to buy.
Oh yeah.
When I just went to that Sunflower Festival in Michigan, I was like, let me get this, let me get that, let me get this. And I'm like, I get it. Like, so for me, I would rather support a small business or, you know, a place like Swap than like going to a big store.
Well, I think too, like last week you were telling me, you're like, I'm kind of tired of wearing the same thing as everyone else or whatever. And you want kind of a unique, one of a kind item. So if a woman took a stone and made a ring out of it, it's a hell of a lot cooler than somebody getting it on Amazon. And it's the same thing as your, you know, the girl next door. So
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I would love supporting small business. My wife is a small business, women owned. I love it. So it's great to keep it. And then locally, I think so many folks are focused on supporting people in the area.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter had a birthday party the other day, and one of the girls gave her a bath bomb that was like made locally.
Yeah.
But it was just just from the box to the item, it wasn't it was nicely crafted.
The presentation.
Definitely made from somebody trying to start a business or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Super cool. And so little things like that I pay attention to as well. And someone looked like a local product.
Yeah, and all that stuff is so popular, like homemade skincare, homemade jewelry, pottery. That's the other thing too. My sister's an artist, so it's like, you know, these people genuinely have talents and brains that they want to use and obviously make money from, or just share with people. And so it's one of those things that kind of connects us again too, where, you know, hey, I've been doing this my whole life, and, you know, this is a pastime now. You know, it's very cool to see people and all of their gifts come to life, if you will. So I'm not surprised that this one's on here. All right, number 9 is health and safety consciousness. So I feel like this is interesting too, because I feel like this took off so much in COVID 2020, like afterwards. Like, I've never seen people have like sanitizer or wiping
that's like
things
everywhere.
down frequently.
I feel like at Swap on the booths. I do love that, because like, you know, when you're walking outside and your hands are like kind of sweaty, and then you're like going inside. I love that the booths at, you know, the vendors at Swap, everyone pretty much has it ready to go.
But I'm talking even like my local coffee store. I don't remember anyone, I feel like, cleaning as much. Like, and now I feel like they make it like a thing. You know what I mean?
I feel like after a pandemic, I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with going back to social media, if you're known as someone who takes care of your property or your business, these folks are going to come back.
Yeah.
If you're dirty, you're gonna have to field some complaints and, you know, that type of stuff, and folks aren't going to come back.
No, I just don't think we live in a world where like dirtiness is like, people don't accept it anymore.
It's not cute.
Get it together.
And to touch on that, a lot of the vendors now are putting, or, you know, recently they put up the shields.
Yes.
That give you, you know, you can still converse comfortably, but the spitting or the transaction is all down here. Which is nice. And it's not always just jewelry for safety. It's other businesses as well that are creating the space.
My building, actually, in the lobby where the security sits, that used to be just like an open desk. And for COVID, they put up these, you know, huge like plexi kind of shields. But they asked them if they wanted to take them down, and they're like, no, we like it. Like, we like kind of the separation. It gives you some privacy a little bit. Like, I don't know. So I think a lot of people, not just, you know, fleas, have like adopted these things, and, you know, respectfully, keep your germs to yourself, people.
And I've also noticed that even their booths are cleaner.
That's
in general, not even just in general, they're more tidy. You know, you're gonna have some folks that aren't, you know, clean, but majority are following that trend. So I hope it continues to get better.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll just say, from like me being a customer, it's a huge deal. Like, there are places, there's like grocery stores where I recall, like, if you have boxes in the middle of the aisles, like, I'm not going there. That's not a fun experience.
I'm on a trip.
Exactly. It's a liability these days.
I don't want to move around that box to go get the hot dogs.
Exactly. Or I'm not reaching at the top to grab, you know, a Windex. Like, it's just, if it's inconvenient for me, it's not happening. So from that point, and like all of these things, I think it's like, it is important to, you know, make sure things are aesthetic, make sure things are clean, make sure things are picked up. And I know that that's something that, you know, we value here at Swap a lot. Aside from pandemic aside, I think, you know,
we put a lot of effort into communicating with the vendors and working with them on picking up bags that are on the ground.
Yeah, totally.
If they see garbage, please toss it. We put extra garbage cans out
Yeah.
in every aisle. We've added an extra dumpster for folks that could dump their
Yeah.
stuff instead of just leaving it out. We have also forgot what I was thinking, but yeah, we've implemented a number of things to make it easier. And our lines where how far vendors can set up and go out of their space. We've worked on keeping a wider path for the customers, so they're not rubbing shoulders with the person next to them, and respecting space and let the customer enjoy their shopping experience.
Totally.
So it's been we've implemented a number of things over the past 2 years that have helped out a lot.
We love to see it, everybody.
Agreed.
All right, and the last one, you guys, is hybrid, online shopping and in-person shopping. Obviously, as a Flea, we want everyone to come in person, right?
Yeah.
But I love this one because I think it is so interesting that, especially Rachel and I, we've seen so many people that have businesses that, for example, for Pretty Little Things or whatever that lady, like, she works full-time from her house. That's what her business is, but her pickups are at the flea market. So instead of people coming to her house, this woman makes, crystallizes everything. She brings out candles,
lip balms,
wine glasses, coffee mugs. Like she'll
one of
literally
a kind,
just deck it out for
custom
you.
stuff. Like,
So she has a website and everything like that, and everyone places their orders, and she works from home. But then instead of having instead of shipping or having customers come to her home to pick them up, she
does
has a
it
booth
at the Flea. Smart.
Brilliant.
Really, they're going to buy more.
Literally, exactly.
They're going to see 15, 20 other things.
Yep.
She's definitely making extra money.
Yep.
And that's
Genius.
exactly what she does.
Yep.
So she'll set up like
She has the whole booth,
extra stuff, and people see her working, and that's another thing. Then they'll be like,
"Oh, you do
what
that."
are you doing?"
Yep.
And it's so smart. So like that's a great example of like a hybrid kind of experience. Same thing with like some of the folks that own like bakeries, and then they sell their like packaged things there. I'm like, that's smart. Why wouldn't you? Like, at least
It's literally
while supplies last or something, and that could be from anything from, I don't know, like
Anything.
lip gloss. Yeah, literally. Furniture, yes. Oh my gosh.
The cheese. Yes. I mean, it's a great idea. And it's great for Swap.
Yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, the business
And
itself and the other vendors, I think everybody should be promoting their business.
100%.
Doing pickups if they can on site.
100%.
I agree. Even our girl, like last week when we saw all the Zara stuff, there's like a booth at Ashland Ave that just sells Zara, brand new packaged, like never
she just
worn.
Got a license
to sell it. And she's like, "Oh, well, do you want to join my webinar group or whatever?" So she basically will tell people like, "Hey, we got purses coming in. We have this coming in. I'll be at Swap this day." I'm like, "Sign me up." Yep.
Here's my phone number.
So she's pushing it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Smart.
She has like a text chain. That's what it is. And so I thought that was really cool too.
Nice.
No, I love that. And it's interesting. Like, I found myself a couple of weeks ago with my sister. We were like, I don't know how I got there because you guys know me, I don't really shop in person a lot unless it's a one-off. But we walked into Nordstrom because I had never really tried the Good American brand. That's Khloe Kardashian, Justin.
Thank you for... That's what you teach me something every day.
I know. See, I try to. Okay, so Good American is Khloe Kardashian's denim brand. And I'd never really
Amazing.
Yeah. I was like, I saw like an ad come up on my like thing of like one of her shirts. And I was like, I want to feel the fabric. I didn't get it then and there, but I'm like, you know what? Now it's in the back of my head. So if I see it somewhere else, that's how hybrid I shop. Guys? They're all looking at me. For anybody listening, it takes a lot to get me to go.
Yeah. I
don't shop in public.
She's on the streets.
Yeah.
literally.
Justin's jaw is still on the floor when I said I went into a Nordstrom.
Me too.
Offline, I'll tell you how I really feel about this.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Well, anyways. Catch me at the SwapORama, though. I'm there.
Oh, she's there every week. You will catch her at the swap.
You will.
No doubt about that. All right, guys, recapping a little bit. What do we think of these 10? Or do you think that, in fact, they are popular or what?
Every single one I feel like is perfect.
I think they're all relevant to almost all businesses out there.
Agreed.
Definitely the swap. And there's so much going on. There's so much to do. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I think so too. I think me personally, just kind of hearing these, it's so, when you think of like shopping and being a vendor, like, I don't know, there is a shift. There's a shift in how people are consuming. There's a shift in how people are wanting to spend their time, and it's translating into that. And I love how, you know, we're not seeing like a decline in what people are spending, right? Like we're still doing these things. We're still going to these pop-ups. We're still, you know, paying however we can pay. Like it's just happening differently, you know? I mean, going back to social media, I shop based off of social media. I shop off of influencers. I shop off of ads. I shop off, or even if I see somebody wearing something I like, that's how I'm searching for it. And so, I don't know, there is a big shift, and I think these are like right on. And I love that, you know, SwapORama and flea markets are a part of that. Like it's not kind of numbing us down. We're still very much alive and thriving, especially with these trends. So if you're listening to this and have still never been to a flea market, shame on you.
I was going to say, shame on you.
It's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. You gotta go. So I just kind of, those are my thoughts of these.
I agree. I think I'm like obsessed with the secondhand stuff right now. For me, I'm looking for vintage shirts, clothing, jackets. I just bought a vintage Bears jacket. It is sick. Like I am like, can the weather drop already so I can bring this out? Like it's
bring
so
them out,
dope.
bring them out.
Yeah, so I'm like all about like the vintage sports apparel.
And I'm on the other side where I'll buy when I see something that I like versus I haven't shifted to that piece yet of the ads or whatever's trending I'm going to buy, but I will purchase on site. And that's why I stopped bringing up money to the flea market, because I bring too much stuff home.
You're also a dad. I think that makes a difference. We're like single. Well, I'm a single gal on the prowl. Rachel's out here, you know, making moves, and you know, she's on social media selling her. Like we got people to impress over here.
I still have
you're buying it for your kids, I'm sure. So I know you're a spur of the moment, I'll buy it kind of guy. That's just not for yourself, which
that is true.
You need to work on. But anyways, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Justin, for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you, ladies. Always love being here, and look forward to the next time.
We love having you on.
Thank you.
You want to come next week or just?
He's back.
He's back. All right. Well, no, in all honesty, thank you so much. And hopefully you've learned some of these trends and will implement, and you know where to find us.
As always, if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, and thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and The Flea. See you next week.